Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Let's do roll call. Your name?
John Sagancic Jr.
Here.
Here.
Kathleen Richard here.
Mira Kresovic here.
Gary Grumner here. Stand to do the pledge.
I think this thing keeps moving.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. We don't have any correspondence, and I don't see any residents, so I think we can pass on that. Need approval of our minutes from our December 17th meeting. Is there a motion to do so?
Skimming them real quick. Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion was made. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I realize you're gonna work so hard the first night, eh? We now have a voucher list. Yeah, we need a motion to approve the voucher list. Comfortable?
Is that the yellow? Motion to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, motion's been made. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. And you have a report on the water system now.
Do we want to jump back up to introductions?
Oh, we certainly do. Thank you, sir. Introductions.
You want to? Why don't you start with who?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I'm Gary Grover. I've been on the Water Commission, I think, for 24 years.
Mira Kresovic, I'm one of the newer members. I think I just got here this year.
Kathleen Richard, new tonight.
Hey. John Sagancic Jr. New tonight.
And we're delighted that you're here.
Thank you.
Jesse Wesolowski, City Attorney.
John Nelson, Mayor, and welcome and thank you for stepping up. And I thank everybody that steps up and takes on the responsibility and gets involved. So thank you both.
I'm Danielle Brown. I'm Director of Finance. Kelly Hirsch. I am the City Administrator. And I echo Mayor. Everybody.
Glenn Beardsley, and I'm the Utilities Superintendent.
You want to describe what that means? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I will say it is split. I oversee the sewer utility and the water utility.
Okay.
So and if there's any time you want to come down and learn more, see more, let me know and show you around our infrastructure, show you as much or as little as you'd like to know. But yeah, we manage two departments basically with the same pool of people.
Okay.
So they overlap.
So you oversee the coming in and the going out.
I appreciate that invitation, but I would like to wait until temperatures are above
Yeah.
freezing.
Well, yeah, and eventually, maybe sometime this spring, we'll have a
Yeah.
meeting. We usually have one meeting at the utility building.
Oh, okay.
Meeting, just something different.
Sure.
Was there anything else? You want to add anything, John? Or? Okay. All right. Carry on, sir.
Okay, we'd like to have a report on the water system now.
Back to me. I did everything over there. I just kind of went through. In October, we started a water loss study. We had a company come and listen, hydrant services, valves throughout the city. So in 2024, basically the last 2 months of 2024, this is a total for a year. We had 12 main repairs. We repaired 16 laterals and 5 hydrants that were leaking or struck. But comparison for 2023, it was 3 main repairs, 9 laterals, and 7 hydrants. So we Did find a lot of leaks, which was good. Cost money to fix them, but the hopes is we regain that quickly. So that I think we still have a couple hydrants yet to work on, but in this weather we can't flush them, so it can't really fix them until we can flush them. So,
How many mains? 2 and 24?
12. That was including the valves.
12 main, 16 laterals, how many hydrants?
5. Along with the kind of the water loss topic, we've had meters that we've been estimating the accounts and the reads, and it's come about this past week that there's 2 condo units that the meter was working properly or the reader was working properly. We weren't getting signal. So that will be addressed on the first quarter's bill, and I think it's going to be substantial. So,
Do they have a heads up?
what was that?
Those people, do they have a heads up, or is it?
No, we haven't quite figured
Oh, okay.
it out fully, but yeah, we will let the management company know. It's larger units, so it's a management company. It's not that gets the bills, but it will definitely put a dent in our water loss.
Is there any indication of what went wrong? It sounds like something went wrong, maybe a flooding or something.
No, it's
The reading.
they're electronic. You know, the head on those are still mechanical, so we have the numbers. We just weren't getting the numbers, and the estimate was not
Even
accurate.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is that automated or is it drive-by?
drive-by. Yeah. So that was kind of not a good, but it lets us know where some of the water was going. It wasn't being lost. It was just not being filled. We're
Yeah,
working
Do you have
on
an idea how much it is already?
tens of millions.
Well,
So,
obviously, they're probably gonna ask for a payment.
yeah, I can't say yet, but anything would be better than that.
Number you gave is gallons of water, correct?
Yeah.
Oh,
She was.
You're talking dollars.
Were you saying anything or just like?
The question was for the amount of money.
Yeah. We didn't. Sorry.
Well, that does sound
I
better.
was, I was talking.
I think my heart skipped a beat.
Until we find out if that is.
Which is still a substantial sum of
Yeah.
money at
Well,
a rate of 1,000, so yeah. Other than that, yeah, we're just hoping to get through this cold snap.
Any water main issues right now?
None that I know of.
Great answer.
Well, if he knew,
He doesn't like to
take
talk
care of
about it unless it's already happened.
Yeah. So yeah, we're working on stuff like that to get ahead of any accounts that have been estimated to get control of that.
Our water loss has been on the high side, and so that's why we spent the money to have them research and check it out. And as I said, we're finding stuff. It's probably something that we have to do on a more religious basis. Okay. Unfinished business. A, Lovers Lane Water Tower and Water Main Project update.
I'll just touch on, there's 2 items that'll fall under that topic in business that we'll discuss there. If you're on Highway 100 south of Target, that's our brand new tower that's going up. Pedestal is done, basically done. There'll still be some piping that goes on top of that you'll probably see that will actually be the center of the bowl, which is built, sitting there right now. Depending on how the spring weather goes, they will paint that on the ground the way it sits, and then they will raise that to the top. But they're hoping April they can come back. Pretty much there won't be much going on now because of winter and have to have decent weather to paint. So that's kind of done. Contract A, there's 3 contracts there. Contract A, B, C. A is complete. B is the tank and some water main on site. That is progress. Contract C, which the business falls under, estimated start date to finish that will be March, or weather cooperates. So, if there's any question I can answer.
I don't know enough about it to ask the questions.
So now, you're gonna talk about B?
Yeah, okay.
What we,
Number B,
correct?
letter B, DPW campus utilities. Most of that project is sewer main, but we do have about 800 feet of water main that'll be on that project. They were gonna start Monday, but with the cold weather, of course, maybe tomorrow, not Thursday, they're ready to go. They have the equipment on site. That'll probably just be an update of progress that they made, but the water main will be the last piece that they do. So if you drive past DPW building on 80th and Ryan, you see work being done. That's a city project.
Okay, now we have the proposed budget. Nice job.
So I can start. Before you use the proposed budget, Glenn and I met and went over in detail, line after line, to determine what was needed for the 2025 budget. As far as charges for services on the revenue side, those are projected based on dry and wet months, and we do like a 10-year average, and that's what helps us determine the revenue portion. The pilot payment is lower this year, and I just wanted to speak to the fact that I talked to Commissioner Dukniak before I came here, and he had a couple of questions on the budget, so I will just reiterate what he stated, and then Glenn, there was a couple of questions on it that I'll ask you. So he said it looked good. He would typically do a little bit more of a conservative budget, meaning looking at the projected 2024 activity. And he noticed that the 2025 budget was pretty inflated compared to what we spent in 24, and he would prefer the budget to not have as much fluff. But something to look forward to in 2026. He said that there was no issue with the 2025 budget. He just wanted to make that comment. He had a couple of questions on, and like I said, Glenn, you might be able to help me. So on the transmission and distribution supplies, I think it's 4th page. Yeah, on the back side of the one that's in hand, I think. So under supplies, where it's like the maintenance, the distribution reservoir, hydrants, plants. He did say that projected activity through 12/34 was significantly lower than what we are proposing in the budget, and he just wanted to know if you had something planned, and that's why, like I said, we spent $18,000 on hydrants, and we budgeted $55,000 in 25. So he was just had a couple of questions as to if we had something planned, or if you had any comments on why the budget was higher than.
I was running off of. I got this very late in the process, so I was just kind of running off 23's budget because there are so many unknowns with, and we've kind of this leak study. We have found weak spots. So it's looks like a big number, but a single hydrant is $5,000 basically, $4,000 to $5,000 just for the hydrant. And the parts now are they're expensive. So I mean, rather have some fluff, I guess, than go over and hopefully me having starting fresh this year, I can maybe scale back, but it's my understanding it's just kind of plan for the worst and hope not to use it. I mean, it's not our goal to use it, but we don't need it.
Can I ask where exactly we're at? Sorry, I'm not.
That's okay. It's page, so, yep,
I've got like 5 pages.
that's okay, so it's,
Would be,
maybe
which
from
one?
here.
Like the,
This one
Oh, this
I don't
Because
know
if you
how.
look at it, he went out the 23
Oh,
budget.
okay. Yep.
There's this.
Okay.
This is Medford.
Okay, thanks.
And so that was my comment to Dan. I just wanted you to speak to it. I said, it's year one of Glenn and I doing a budget together, really just trying to dive into it and then scale back. And I had mentioned the leak study, and so just really determining a good budget for this year, really get us through some of these weak spots that we have and trying to clean up the issue and then hope to scale back. So
I do appreciate the comment, though, that just because it's there, it doesn't mean you have to spend it.
correct.
Right.
Because I've worked with many others that have the exact opposite of us.
Yeah.
So,
And then the only other comment he had that him and I are going to work through offline and do some investigating is on the pilot payment. That usually pilot payments shouldn't go down. They should either be stagnant or go up. And our pilot payment went down about $80,000 from last year, and part of it could be because the water tower isn't in service yet, and that should go up. Plus, our tax rate declined dramatically in 2023, which is where we get the pilot information from. So, doing a little further investigation on that. But again, he said he was fine because he looked up the PSC report and said, "Yep, you have the number that I see. It's correct." But he just was questioning why, and so him and I are going to talk about that offline. But other than that, the proposed budget is in front of you. Glenn did bring to my attention that a piece of equipment was forgotten on the capital side. You wanted to say what it's a GPS collector?
It's so, yeah, basically so we can go out and shoot locations. It's a GPS unit that our goal is to go out and shoot all of where we've had the main breaks, map those on the GIS system map so we can provide that and collect data timely. And like right now, we have to rely on engineering, and it's split. It was, I think, $4,200 that's shared between sewer and water. So, but it'll be valuable for us just to be able to do things in real time and have the data.
So that's the only amendment that we would be making to this proposed budget is to add that $4,200 to the budget, and then if you guys say it could be adopted.
and if
You guys have
memory
questions?
serves, at a prior meeting, we had talked about everything had been done by hand in terms of knowing what needed to be updated previously. So this would actually bring you up to speed, more or less, to know where what's oldest and what would need to be repaired.
Right.
Okay.
Kind of help us plan for future relay. So we have 5 breaks in this area. We should be thinking about that. And what's the condition of the road? Minus us, but Public Works and the city as a whole, we need to do something here before we repave a road.
Right.
Then come back. That's not
Makes no sense to do it twice.
Right.
So that's our hopes with what we're asking for on that.
Motion to approve?
Is there a
Say
second?
with that amendment.
Yes,
To add
with the
that,
amendment.
Seconded?
Oh, I'll second.
Okay. Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, Glenn, I guess we're back to you. As you already said, you were talking about it. D, water main along St. Martin's Road.
This we brought to you last meeting to approval to proceed. I did leave a map just to refresh and for 2 new members, just location where we're talking about. streets in Elm Court. Background is DOT is going to be repaving that this year shortly, as well as a bike path is going to be going in on the east side. This fortunately didn't get taken care of earlier, but we have a missing piece of water main there that's critical to the southwest portion of the city. It will be needed. It's a transmission main that'll come right from the tower to help push further south. And so we will be having a open house forum on February 3rd with the residents. They were all sent letters today. Hopefully they get them tomorrow.
Okay.
Just to discuss.
Takes 3 days. So you know.
Don't tell that to the mayor.
I said it usually takes the post office 3 days here.
Oh, okay.
You could have driven down to the airport one, and it would have been like.
We took it. We went.
Really?
I was told.
Oh.
They had to go to the airport. Anyways,
Doesn't matter.
so the bids will be received Thursday the 30th. Hence the special meeting on February 4th, which
Right.
hopefully the four of you can make.
Yeah, I can make it, yeah.
It'll be at 5:15, so we can discuss and make a recommendation, and then it can go to the council. And because of the state deadline, that's why this is
Right.
very
I was in common council the last meeting, so I did hear a lot of that, yeah.
So,
May I ask if those bids would be available to us
yeah,
before?
as soon as we open at 9 o'clock Thursday 30th, as soon as Grafe
Okay,
tabulates them, we can email those out.
perfect.
So
Thank
not saying it'll be Thursday, but
Right.
there's a lot of people that want those numbers. So
But what is the soonest that we would have them? Did you say the
Well,
30th?
30th.
The 30th is when we have the bid
Yeah.
opening, and actually, isn't that like
Does it close the
the
same
same
day,
day?
though?
Could come if you
We'll
really want to.
we'll have a bid tabulation that day. I mean the low bid to high bid. I mean
Yeah.
that's like immediate, but we'll get you. I mean, we can get those out to you probably Thursday afternoon. Because that's pretty quick. 'Cause it's all online and they set it up pretty nicely already.
One day bid process.
It's 3 weeks. So yeah, it's
So 1 day
we-
bid opening, though.
Opening.
Yes.
yeah,
Yep.
They had all the requirements.
we posted it on the 15th. So it'll be almost on the 15th. Yeah, 15th we posted it. It runs in the newspaper twice. So the 15th, the 22nd, and then it's called Quest.
And it's also linked on our website. You can go there and look at projects and get that information.
Okay. I was gonna say, does anybody read the newspaper anymore?
No.
I can't remember the last time I picked up a newspaper.
Formality.
Okay.
But Quest is like everybody
Essentially a
knows.
requirement.
Okay.
Yeah, statutory requirement.
Okay.
So then it's
To
posted
waste money.
for 3 weeks, and then we can open it on the 30th.
Okay.
It'll be 3 Wednesdays, and we can open it. And yeah, that's all done here at City Hall and read aloud.
Yep.
So yeah, it's exciting.
Yes.
I think that was kind of, unless there's any questions.
With regard to the installation of the water main, you mentioned it served the southwest quadrant, but in addition, as are all other water mains, the water main will specially benefit adjoining properties on the main, because that will provide public water service to the property, correct?
Correct. As well as fire protection.
16 parcels.
15.
Okay, thank you. I have a going with the number
Everyone's
16.
stuck on
I know,
16,
right?
but it's 15.
It's always a shock when you first learn you're getting water. I remember that vividly.
I was gonna say, I thought you were right for that project. And we had some real good bids last week, so we have a lot of interest, so we're hoping it's very competitive, so.
Yeah.
And this is the section where the
Huge.
complaints were coming in about, right? Like how to hook up, or if they had to hook up, or,
Right.
okay.
What I heard in the common council meeting was it wasn't made clear. Because, okay, bear in mind, this isn't my industry, so it wasn't made clear that there's the road that goes, the pipe that goes parallel to the road, that's going through. But the pipe that's perpendicular to the road that runs up to your property, that's what's optional.
Potentially. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So the
But
main
that wasn't
goes
made clear.
across everyone's
Right.
frontage, which is where that improvement comes, that
Right.
access to it. The lateral is, we've got a
Is
survey
the
that
lateral
went out.
included in the assessment?
We did do like a,
We're getting bid, we gave a price of what it could be,
Is
but,
that the water service?
Like an estimate?
yeah, water service
Okay.
would be.
Yeah, I
so
think that's what was really freaking people out.
that's what we want the public.
Open house.
The open house.
Open house.
clarify.
We'll have the
Talking
actual
about St.
numbers,
Martin's.
and we
Yes.
can
Okay.
show,
Sure.
walk everyone through, and,
Yeah.
we will have it bid with them or without them, so.
Okay,
We will have pricing to do it.
yeah,
That'll be a decision to proceed with them or not.
okay,
And they're being asked if they even want them.
sure.
We'll have a
Explain
fruitful
explain it a
discussion.
little more to the group here. If you're running water down my street, in this case, if I lived on the street, do I have the choice of not getting the lateral or getting the lateral, or so it's a joint thing? It's either all or nothing.
I'm thinking it's going to be all or none.
So if the majority of the people want it, it's going to be. If the majority of people don't want it, it's not going to be.
I would think so. That's not,
If you have the lateral line there, are you automatically forced to water?
no, not until you
or
force something.
hook up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no,
Or per the municipal code, the expiration
10
of
years.
10 years.
Yeah.
Because these people have wells now, correct?
If you run the water main down, that's all that they want. Somebody wants to sell their property 7 years from now, they'll need to pay for their portion of the water main?
and they would have to pay to have if they then wanted water, they would have to pay to,
But if they don't want water,
then they would just have to pay I think it would start the time. Yeah.
Special assessments are to be reasonably based.
Yes.
Not shoot.
No. But it's from what I'm remembering on the tax bill, it was a little bit every year
For,
Right.
for
for
12
10
Can be
years.
paid
12
annually.
years.
And then there's a chunk that was due.
I don't know about the chunk.
Well,
Yeah, so now it's not equal payment over 12 years.
okay.
Pay off early, these two still get charged on your tax. It's the total amount of the assessment times cent and annualize that.
and if you pay it off early, you get some sort of a credit on the 6%.
No. Put any credit on this.
Oh, it's
So
not.
we just take the special assessments, it's $100, we divide that by 12 years. And then you pay 6% on
Okay,
that
okay.
annual payment.
Pretty good, thanks.
Got another one. In terms of this process, I heard that this is occurring rather quickly, 2 meetings right after this get together, the open house. Where's the process at in terms of engineers report, et cetera, that's required for the statute?
We'll have the engineering report ready for the 3rd. At this point, what we have is preliminary numbers, and we want to get it closer and then provide that information. We're sending out a letter today, or sent out a letter today that kind of goes into more detail and also asks a response to whether or not they're interested in water service or not. In terms of the engineering report, I'm not exactly sure where that is at this moment, but it will be out there before we have a hearing, obviously.
And there's no preliminary resolution that's been adopted.
No. So what we're doing, so try to help eliminate any kind of confusion. On the 4th, we're bringing forward those bids and the recommendation to award a bid to whoever ends up being the company. We don't have to have the hearing about special assessments and all that other business related to it at that time. So we want to have the open house on the 3rd to determine where that's looking to go, because laterals are not laterals, that sort of thing. And then we will, after the fact, have everything ready to have that public hearing and move forward appropriately to follow the ordinances. But it does not require, from what I've read, that it comes before the bids. That's kind of where we're at. This is something that I think recently, at one point when we were looking at the map of the area and looking at where the water tower is going to service, and then we had a WISDOT meeting with our contacts there where they're telling us about all the projects that they have in the works. It became very evident that if we don't do this, we don't have that redundancy and reliability, we don't have that strength and system that we need. And it will cost substantially more in the future, especially after WISDOT puts their road improvements in.
Right.
So we would be on the hook for the road improvements. We're trying to...
In the path.
Yes, exactly, and the path, right. So we'd be paying twice for the pathway.
Yeah.
It's just the ugly nature of finding stuff like this out and having to run with it.
Right.
Probably do need to, Jesse, now that I think about it, do we need to have that preliminary resolution?
That's what I'm trying to double check here.
So we don't have to have the public hearing, but we might have to have the preliminary resolution
Start the
for special
process.
assessments, start the process.
Okay, and
Which is something we can bring forward on the 3rd or the 4th. But I don't know if that goes here. I think that
Right.
it goes to council, the preliminary one, but I'll make a note of that.
we're having a lot of fun.
We're all still learning, okay?
We're covering a lot of fun too.
Okay, so did we approve this, or do we need a motion to approve this change order to Vinton? I think we got off track.
That's the next agenda.
We didn't get there.
Oh,
New business.
water main, got it. Whoops, see?
It's been one of
Ready to
those
go on
days,
to
I
new
think, for
business?
everybody.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just too
so.
cold.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, new business, item A, change order for the water tower transmission main contract C. To increase the contract price by $11,193.80.
So this goes back some months. We're trying to get up to date on everything. There was an easement needed from a property owner for the water main. In exchange, it was that instead of paying for the easement, we would give him a lateral. That was not part of the original plan set, bid out. So this is a change order to put that service in to that property owner in lieu of paying him for the So that's why we needed a change order, because we didn't have bid numbers for that specific
Okay.
pieces.
Any questions on that? We need a motion then to approve the change order.
Motion to approve change order number 1 for the water tower transmission main contract C project to increase the contract price to $11,193.80 to Vinton Construction.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye. Motion carried.
This one looks pretty straightforward.
What is? The change order number 2 for water tower transmission main contract C project to increase the contract price by $10,271.79 in the contract time frame by 175 days to Vinton Construction Company.
So, just to clear up what wasn't in here, which is the main price difference, was when this was bid out. We're using ARPA funds to pay for this. That language is not in their bid. So, right when they were going to start, they were informed of the ARPA language, so which includes a lot of federal wording.
American parts.
Right.
And hence, they didn't budget for their subs to be paid at a higher wage. So part of this was the valves in that, but the city's not covering that. What we're covering is the contract language change, fund with ARPA funds to reimburse them for their unexpected labor costs.
Okay.
As an aside for the two of you at least, and I don't know that we've ever discussed this, the engineering department and Glenn had realized that the specs were not up to city standards, so we really lucked out and finding that when we did. So that is that's on the contractor consultant. They've ate the cost.
Motion to approve change order number 2 for the water tower transmission main contract C project to increase the contract price by $10,271.79 in the contract time frame by 175 days to Vinton Construction.
For a motion?
Second?
Motion's been made and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
You guys make that look so easy.
Motion to adjourn, are we there? I'm trying to get back up to the agenda.
Yes.
Motion to adjourn?
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion carried.